Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Method to the Madness, our Breaking Bad edition. This time I'm your host Mitchie, and joining me as usual is Patrick.
Hello.
And this time we're covering season 4, episode 9, titled Bug. This has the badass Gus scene where he walks into a line of fire of some dude with a rifle. So yeah, dude. I mean that's probably the most iconic scene from this episode.
Yeah, I mean it's the picture on the wiki page, so it must be.
Apparently it aired on September 11 too.
Oh,
interesting.
2011.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't mean anything. Anyway, let's get into the plot.
Okay. Hank retrieves the GPS tracker that he planted on Gus's car. Disappointed that it did not pick up anything suspicious, he decides to investigate the distribution center that Gus owns. Skyler tells Walter that the car wash is doing so well that he may be able to quit cooking meth. Ted Beneke, Skyler's old boss with whom she had an affair, arrives at the car wash and tells her that he is being audited for tax fraud. Since she was aware of the ongoing fraud, and as his former accountant signed off on the books, Skyler could also be implicated. She attends Ted's audit and pretends to be oblivious, underqualified, and completely ignorant of accounting practices. Now believing the fraud was simply massive ignorance, the special agent drops any potential prison time for Ted, but still requires Ted to pay $600,000.
Hank's pretty persistent, isn't he?
Yeah, he thinks he's Rocky. Singing "Eye of the Tiger" in the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, that went way longer than it should have.
I know.
I'm just trying to... We're both dead men anyway. When did Walt actually say that? Oh, he said that outside with...
When he's huffing that diary.
Yeah. Gotta actually breathe it in. Yeah. He's kind of really adopting this, I don't know, bleak outlook. Like, he could... Everything could just go black at any moment.
Yeah.
Kind of attitude. But, like, fair enough, I guess. That's probably how you eventually accept living that kind of life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've had time to deal with the trauma from Victor having his throat cut open in front of them. And now this is a way of dealing with it. They're just both like, you know what? Might just die any moment. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I find it interesting that Skyler suggests to Walt that he could quit cooking meth. Because feasibly, yeah, she's right. Like, I mean, how much money has he got? Like, I don't know. What was it last time? Like, when they were counting it in the car wash? Like, something ridiculous. Like, millions of dollars a year, right?
Well, he said he makes $7 million, but I think the amount he brought home was like $250,000 or something.
Yeah, from a week's or 2 weeks worth of work?
Yeah.
So it's like... And he's already been working for a few months, and it's like, you know, most people would be able to just settle on that. They've got a business running, you know, so they could make that business work and just settle on all that money that he's made so far, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
you know, it's viable.
Yeah, exactly. She's not wrong. It's just, well, it's not a matter of handing in your resignation to Gus is all.
Yeah, no, of course. Plus also the fact that it's Walt, and even after he could resign from Gus, he probably wouldn't, knowing him. And we also have the reintroduction of Ted back into the story.
Yeah.
Man, his story over this episode and the next one is just so fucking annoying. Like, the dude is just such a pain in the fucking ass.
I like how he comes to Skyler and he's like, I need you to uncook my books. And then Skyler goes, it doesn't work like that. And, you know, I have to assume because, you know, like Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould, they know a lot about, you know, the American law, right? So is accounting they know something a lot about as well? Because, you know, obviously to write Skyler's character, you'd have to do a bit of research, but it sounds like from the script, it sounds like they know what they're talking about. Yeah.
It's vague enough anyway that it doesn't really specify any laws and stuff.
Yeah, but man, these people are so knowledgeable.
Yeah, no, they are.
Yeah.
And I love how well Skyler handles the situation. You know, afterwards, we're coming in dressed all ditzy.
Dude.
You know, like, it's great.
She's a genius. Like, that is...
Like, truly, yeah.
That is, like, galaxy brain level play. So, I love the audit dude, when he realizes, and he's like, okay, this is all starting to fall into place now.
Yeah, after he touches his leg.
Yeah.
She touches his leg, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. Can we talk about how, you know, so Hank is like, he's checking the tracker history, and he's like, a guy this clean has got to be dirty.
Yeah.
But, because, you know, Gus's history shows him only going from his house to work. And it's so obviously unconvincing. Do you think Gus is doing it deliberately to taunt Hank?
Yeah, it could do. Because if you really wanted to be more convincing, you'd at least include a trip to the shopping center or something, right?
Yeah,
Over a fucking
exactly.
week.
Because at this point, probably Gus knows that Hank is not going to let this case go. He Hank's pretty much convinced that Gus is the guy. And so what Gus is doing now is just like waiting out, he's just waiting it out because eventually Hank is going to have to drop it because, he has to work other cases because he's still like a DEA agent and shit like that. So, I mean, Gus knows that Hank knows. So he's just, I think he's just taunting him.
Yeah, that could be true.
Yeah.
Because like that is not any evidence at all in the police's eyes. Just because he drives back and forth to work, it's like that could be true, but Hank knows it's not true because of his inner instinct and
his spidey sense.
Yeah, and but it's like you would piss him off, right? And it exactly matches his quote. It's too clean that he has to be dirty. Yeah.
Also, why does Walt call the cops on Tyrus?
I don't know, just to piss him off.
Yeah,
to get him the fuck off.
Dude, and this is America too, so Tyrus would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. That's probably why he was worried.
Yeah.
In a wealthy white suburb that Hank Schrader's living in,
Exactly, yeah.
It's not good. Anyway, should I keep going?
Yeah. A cartel sniper opens fire on the distribution center, killing a henchman and firing on others. Gus walks out and stands in the line of fire with his arms outstretched. Later, Gus tells Jesse that he has given in to the cartel's demands to split territory, and that Jesse will be sent to Mexico to teach them how to cook blue meth. Jesse has an opportunity to poison the stew that Gus makes, but decides not to risk it. An overwhelmed Jesse meets with Walter and begs him for help about cooking meth for the cartel, but lies about seeing Gus. Walter ignores Jesse's pleas and reveals that he has put a GPS tracker on Jesse's car and knew that he was in Gus's house. He begins to confront Jesse for failing to kill Gus, but a furious Jesse incites a fight between the two. Jesse gets to his feet and tells Walter to leave his house and never return. I like how the episode starts with it's really ominous blood dripping, and we know it's Walter because he picks up his glasses, but it just turns out to be this.
Yeah, but I was going to say, during that whole scene though, when they're fighting, it feels like the music is way more ominous than you would think it should be for such a scene. So it either foreshadows their whole friendship / relationship, breaking apart or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's deliberate for sure.
Yeah. Obviously that's a big deal. They're, because they're the main characters, their relationship is falling apart, but it's not very deadly. It's not like a threat,
But that's what it feels like with the music.
Yeah.
And just wondering why, it's not the first time we've seen them fight. There's a pretty famous fight scene in the RV, I think in season 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Where just outside of Walt's house. And, we kind of see that as a bit more of a very light-hearted fight, these two idiots are just fighting each other. But now it kind of feels like there's more of an implication with what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I suppose in general, the series is building up to more of a serious show that results in, spoiler, the death of Walt. It builds up at the start. It feels almost comical in the way that the two characters kind of deal with the drug dealers and all the nasty people. Chuko almost feels like he's just certainly bad, but it's almost entertainingly bad, how fucked up he is. While Gus feels more serious, and then we get Todd at the end, and he's just an outright sicko. That no one really enjoys watching what he does, right? Like you would with Chuko. And it's just maybe just signaling the general build up of seriousness in the whole show. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, in my opinion, Vince Gilligan has just only gotten better, what he produces. So I think season 1 to 5 of Breaking Bad, it just progressively gets better. And then, as I've said before, I think Better Call Saul is also, Vince Gilligan has just kept getting better at writing. It's just that's so rare. Yeah, I know. I don't really want to say it, but yeah, I genuinely think Breaking Bad gets better as it goes along. Yeah, which is so unusual for a TV show. Yeah, season 5 is definitely my favorite season out of all of them. Yeah, I know. That one is really good. And this season is also great. They just all kind of get better from already really good season 1. It somehow gets even better. I love the sniper scene. I guess for multiple reasons. Like, you got Jesse in there. It's his first kind of experience with battle, I guess. You know, like, it's
Yeah.
not an official war, but it kind of is really between cartels. Like, you know, the way movies portray cartel wars, it's almost like a real war. And, you know, this dude just gets totally killed in front of him, you know, and he has no idea what to do. And I guess it's one of his first experiences, really, of that. Plus the fact that it would bring back the haunted memories of him shooting Gale, too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and then I like how Mike saves him. Obviously, yeah, Mike is looking out for our boy.
The blue,
yeah. I love when Jesse's explaining to Walter, you know, that he has to go to Mexico, and he's like, "What if all the equipment is in Mexican instead of English?"
Yeah,
we love him, but he's not too bright.
No. Yeah, he definitely feels like an idiot sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to pair that idea with him because for some reason I really think Aaron Paul is a very, very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
From like interviews I've seen and just like random YouTube videos he's done. Like, if you've seen the one where he does a tour around his house.
I don't think so.
Yeah, like he just it's a video tour of his house, Aaron Paul's house, like this really nice like villa in like this really snowy area of America.
Oh.
And it's like this real like timber house with fireplaces and stuff. It's a beautiful house, and he just seems like a really genuine but also really smart dude. And yeah, he's so humble too.
Yeah.
You know, you just wouldn't know it. And so it's hard when I see Aaron Paul acting as a total dipshit, you know.
Well, he's not too bright in BoJack Horseman either.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's alright in Westworld though.
Oh yeah, true. He
Yeah.
does get played by Dolores though.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, it's a good point.
I would.
Yeah, we're all just slaves to our desires, really.
Yeah. Yeah, that, and I mean, she's a hyper intelligent AI. I'm sure she knows what she's doing.
True. Just one more thing about this episode, when, you know, the ways how Ted gets off the hook because Skylar says ignorance of the law doesn't equate to criminality. It equates to ignorance. I don't know about that. Like, I don't like.
Who says that?
Skylar.
Oh yeah, just as they walk out of the IRS.
Yeah,
building,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, I feel like Ted would still get, you know, prosecuted.
Well, she's right though. Like ignorance is like the easiest way to get off a crime. Like you never just if you know, like if you get caught, like maybe drink driving's a bit extreme, but speeding or not stopping at a stop sign with traffic cops and they pull you over, you just say, "Oh, sorry, like I didn't know," and you just play like a real dumb person. And
yeah,
you know, 90% of the time, well, that's the most successful solution for you to get off the fine, right? There's no other way that would be better. Like, it hands down, play ignorant, and you're probably going to get off the fine. And it does extend to everything.
I guess, yeah, that is the most effective. Yeah, that is the most effective way when you're dealing with like people. But I feel like as soon as it becomes like, you know, as soon as you go to court, that just goes out the window. Like, you can't plead ignorance.
I think you can still. Like,
can you? Really?
You might still go to jail, but your sentence is severely reduced. You know, like in general, if the person didn't know what they're doing, it depends what it is. Like, you know, if it's cold-blooded murder, then obviously not. But with something like,
yeah,
you know, I'm not saying tax evasion is petty because it's a very serious crime that can land you in jail for the rest of your life. But the action itself is morally not as, you know, indubitable as like murder.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
So when you say like if Ted's just like trying to sleep with his accountant and so he hired like a stupid accountant that doesn't know what she's doing and she's not well qualified, then the IRS agent will just be like, okay, that makes, you know, that makes sense. I wouldn't say he's guilty of tax evasion because he didn't really know what was going on. He just hired a stupid accountant. I don't think he deserves to go to jail because he's not deliberately trying to not pay his taxes. So I'll just let him off, you know, and just obviously pay your taxes back. Like, it kind of makes sense, really. And generally speaking, it's how it works with a lot of things with law. Like, ignorance just kind of is a good way to get out of things.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah, no, legit.
Not to say I'm gonna commit any crimes, but you know.
Yeah, like as long as they're morally okay crimes, you know, like morally excusable, I suppose would be the way to put it. Like traffic cops just play ignorant. You know, like seriously. Like I've even heard other cops tell me that. Like friends of mine, they're just like, yeah, just be ignorant, just pretend you didn't know what you're doing, and they'll probably just let you off. Like anyway. Anyway, yeah. Nah, this is a good episode.
It is.
Oh, and during that shooting scene when Gus walks out, the best thing about it is the sound effects in it. Like that guy keeps shooting and you hear the whiz of the bullet crack past him, like the sonic boom, and then you hear the actual gun itself firing the bullet, because obviously he's quite a long way away. So that was really good.
That was good.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah, same.
Cool. Thanks for listening. Join us next time for episode 10 of season 4.
All right, see you later.
You bugged my car? 7:10 to 9:28 p.m. 2 hours and 18 minutes. But you had no intentions, did you? Not the slightest intention.
Everything that I have done for you.
Oh!
You put a bug on my car?
I'm sorry. After everything you've done for me, what you've done for me, you killed me is what you've done. You've signed my death warrant. And now you want advice? All right, I'll give you advice. Go to Mexico and screw up like I know you will, and wind up in a barrel somewhere.
If you like this series, Mitch is going to tell you where you can find more of these.
Yep, so you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. And we've also got a website, amttm.com, where you can find our fabulous episodes on Breaking Bad.
If you have any questions, queries, insights, or criticism, you can send them to mail@amttm.com.
And as always, thank you for listening.